Hello there guys, my name is Jake, or the A, and welcome back to another episode of Empyrion. Now, I am ever so sorry about the last episode being very, very long, but I wanted to get a lot done. So I did, and you guys have, I'm not sure actually, a lot of you guys went, damn, there's a lot of stuff to watch here, or just gone, yay, big video, or whatever. But it's great to see that you guys are still watching, even though that episode was considerably longer than the rest. Now, I'm promising that this will hopefully be around about 30 to 40 minutes long, like usual. But I can't really promise anything depending on what happens. Now, you probably already noticed the two vessels in front of me. We have the DA support vessel that's on the left-hand side that's now received the kiss of colour. And now we have, on the right-hand side, the rising moon. Now, a guy called Clint Gledhill asked for this, but he said paint it with white stripes. Now, I wanted to keep it with the same colour theme as the New Dawn. So, I figured we can still call it the Rising Moon, because it's a fitting name. We have the New Dawn and the Rising Moon, which sounds quite cool, and then we have the DA support vessel over here. Doesn't really blend in with that name, but, you know, and yeah, it's done. It has a paint job now, and it's got all the bits that I wanted to put in it on it, which is great. Now, what we actually have is, as we walk on in, we can turn this on and toggle the lights on. And what we actually have in here is we have blue lighting in here, because this is blue sort of flying tactical lights, and we can turn them on and off. We're just hitting T, and it also turns the spotlights on and off outside, because of course this vessel will be flying to planets and potentially dark areas of planets and stuff, so I've had to give it lights and fit it out as such. We then have all the gubbins around the sides. Now this is pretty much stayed the same from last, but what we have is we just have our fridge, ammo, oxygen. We have 4 oxygen, we have 2 generators and 2 fuel storage areas, as well as an assembler at the bottom here, which I am actually going to just drop that iron into, because why not? Now, yeah, it's a pretty nifty little vessel. I've hopefully sorted out this walking issue that I got so frustrated at last time. It seriously sucks that as when you jump out, the hitbox sort of reverts back, and you can't crouch either, so you can't kind of update your player model to sort of skip past that. But oh well, it kind of works, and we've kind of got used to it now. Now, if I actually take off a little bit in the Rising Moon, what we have underneath is we have some landing gears. We have the long ones and the short ones, front and back. I have kind of tried to cover up the assembler, but I kind of left the green sticking out, because I thought the colour kind of made it look a bit nicer. And yeah, it's pretty much there. One thing I do need to do is actually christen it with the name, because I haven't actually done that yet. So if you just turn it back on, and if we call this, it's actually still called the Flying Squirrel, because of course we used the block of the Flying Squirrel, the core. So this is going to be a change. Now we can keep the small vessel, because we don't need that anymore. I'm actually going to call this the Rising Moon, which I quite like. My ships are actually kind of taking an oriental naming approach. You know, Rising Sun, New Dawn. Yeah, it's like, I don't know, it's kind of cool. I like it. But yeah, so next thing we really need to do is we need to see if this thing will fit accordingly in the ship. Now, I've kind of kept it to the same constraints as the DA support vessel, which just about squoze in there. So what we're gonna have to do is we're gonna have to fly this for like the first time ever. Why is that still red? Why are you red and the rest different? Just there we go. Okay. So first off, though, we have been producing oxygen. I can kind of kit this out with all the essentials it's going to need right now, and we won't have to think about it for a while. We don't need hydrogen. We do need some oxygen tanks, and we've just got water jugs anyway. I'll tell you what, I'll pick up that hydrogen that we've been producing. There we go. The hydrogen produces super slow. Need like tier 2 ones of them in the future. That'd be brilliant. Right, so oxygen, we can just dump oxygen into these tanks, and we'll just turn on our lights so we can see without wasting power on the ship, and drop those in. Ammo. What ammo do the miniguns take? Miniguns, weapons, it'll be under weapons. There we go, weapons. What do these take? These take 15mm bullets, so that's brilliant because I just happen to have almost sort of a good stack and a bit of 15mm bullets. So what we can now do is we can reload our Gatling guns. Don't know why I'd want, I don't know why I need to, but we're gonna do that anyway because always is good to be prepared. Now I've already dropped in somewhere. I've already dropped in all the parts and stuff. I think I may as well put the auto miner things in there as well. Tell you what, we'll have blocks and we'll then have sort of tools and other odds and sods in that one. The flak shells will need to go in the new dawn, because of course the new dawn has the flak shell capabilities. It has the guns on. But yeah, let's sort of get this thing off the ground. First I'm going to actually use the oxygen station because I am running low. Now that would have taken a canister. From which one would it have done? That one. Okay, so we have 5, 10, we have 20 refills of oxygen in here, which should last us, unless we overuse it, which you've got to be careful not to do. Whoop. A little bit drifty, but not too bad, not too shabby. Now then, let's test this cockpit out. See if it's yeah, you can see it's a little bit of a squeeze. Ugh. Okay, and let's try it and turn. Can I augment the camera a little bit? Tell you what, if I land this, I think I may have already got it in the spot, I'll be honest. Yeah, it's locked. So if we just jump out of here now, I know, I've parked it wonky. Just turning on the lights in here so we can actually see what the hell's going on. Right. There we go. No, it's not actually wonky, it's just because the new dawn was parked wonky, isn't it? Ugh. Camera angle sucks. Ugh. Ugh. There we go, that's the sort of camera angle I need. I'm gonna go this way a little bit. Now, this craft will be kind of the secondary vessel. The only issue I've got with this hangar config is the fact that I would have to keep going out the front door. But I've just thought of a really cool idea for side doors to the new dawn. And yes, I know we need to really start taking off soon and blah 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 blah. But I mean, come on, what I want to do is it is parked, isn't it? Yeah, look at that. Oh, it's just beautiful. What I want to do is I want to perhaps use some shutter doors, and where these are 1, 2 and 3, or 2 even, we can have access. Oh my god, yes, Jay. Let's go and get the support vessel. I'll bring that in, park it down, lock it down, and probably pick up all these freaking lights I've got sitting around. But the support vessel is definitely... Oh my god, look at the lighting! Oh my god, the new dawn looks sick! Dudes and dudettes, this looks amazing. I hate to be a cocky barstool, but I have made a beautiful ship, and I've only just come to that realization. It is pretty cool. Alright, so that's locked down in its relevant parking spot. Oh yes, they fit. Yes! I'm so freaking happy because look at how good these look. I'm gonna actually have to change my uniform to orange or black, or orange and black. Oh my god! But look at this. Yes! It's like it's all coming together, and it's amazeballs. Yes. Just realised this is actually telling us we have 12 minutes of power left. Is it seriously using that much power? What happens when we turn off? Do we have? I've only got the lights grouped. Oh, ungrouped. Okay, 132. we're going to have to generate groups for the thrusters. We don't want to rename a group, we want to add a group. We want to call this thrusters and RCS. So turn them all off at once so it sort of stays still and there's no room for error then. Okay, thrusters. I need to see what fuel usage we're going to get if we don't have the thrusters active. Because Robin actually has done this. Robin went through his ship and found that his ship was utilising a lot of stuff, a lot of power. And what he did was every time he landed he had a group called like thrusters and he'd just turn them off. And I'm just happened to put my RCS on here as well, so add to last, add to last. We'll just keep going through adding these to last. And that way we should minimize the power usage. And then everything will be all fine and dandy. Is that everything? The warp drive actually takes power, so we can turn that off. Can we turn that off? No, okay, we can't actually turn off the warp drive. But oh no, it says powered there. Yeah, it says powered. Is that just power to everything? If I do yeah, it's power to everything. So the warp drive just automatically takes up fuel. Okay, I'm just gonna have to deal with that. But we can toggle the thrusters off, and what fuel time does that give us? That gives us 17 minutes. So we are going to need an auxiliary fuel supply. But whether that could, I really want to wait on that, but I don't think we can. I think my biggest issue is just space, because I've got the farm which takes up a large amount of space, and then we have the living quarters which does take up a large amount of space yet again. We do have this room which we could put auxiliary tanks into, or some of the large tanks, the tier 2 ones, and that might work. Or we could take out some of these harvesting ones, because we're not going to have a lot of harvesting stuff, and that could work out well. The tier 2 ones are massive and do have a lot of space in them, so if we just teetle back to the base, we'll get those built, and then while we're getting those built we can check our power manufacturing and build some shutters as well for the other shizzle whizzle we want to do with all of the all of the that shutter idea I wanted, because my main issue with that hangar is, yeah, it's great and whatever and you can sort of roll out of it, but when push comes to shove you have to move the one ship out to allow the other ship in, and I don't want to constantly keep having to keep moving the ships in and out because it's just going to waste fuel. So if I have maybe a centralised doorway that they can both squeeze through to push them out the sides, that may be the best possible solution to the problem. We've just thrown in a lot. We're almost full on this, Jesus. Okay. So what we want to do is we want to have functional blocks, ramp blocks. We're going to want some more. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2. Yeah. So if you had 6, let's build 8. And then on top of that, we'll build up an absolute mighty ton of those. So we are going to need them. And well, if we go with 100, that is 200, which is a fair amount. Okay, let's put this water away, get some food down our throats, and we might get some more out of these fusion cells. They give you a lot longer lasting fuel supply, but they are more expensive. So that may be the best option, but again, until we try it, we don't know. My farm is just fully grown. Tell you what, let's toggle that off for a second. I could probably make a fruit in a tin thing, canned vegetables, there you go. Fruit in a tin. And then we can slap on all that purified water to be produced again. There we go. I can munch on that. Right. Munch on the akua berries. Get me some more. munch on these dewberries. Okay, so we're fully hungered up. Great, great, great. This is on 5. When it's got a bit further, we can take them out. But these come in varying sizes, and I think there is like a 1 by 45 degree, which would be perfect to fit the gap. And these do take forever though. Look at all the parts it's got to manufacture. What else are we going to want to take with us? Of course the motorbike's got to come with us, because it will. No matter how much people are like, well, the bike's kind of useless after a while. I don't think it is. I think it is a genuinely useful thing with many purposes, because what if you run out of fuel and you need alternative travel that is slow but it's quicker than walking? You've got a bike, and the bike is basically God, so you can use that. And I'm super happy with how this is turning out with all of this shit. It's great. Alright, what am I doing here? We want to put this somewhere. Do we have any? Oh, we have some ramp blocks already, so we can use them. And we've got loads of other things. We don't have any of anything else that we need for this power issue we've got. So what I can do is I can always dump that in there, and then head upstairs, and I can put those flak shells away and the extra fuel that I've got in my thing. Tell you what, we could swap out a lot of these for those. So that one's fitted with the other fuel type now. So if we turn this on, what difference is that making? 13 minutes. Now this is turned on all of the thrusters. Turn it off. 18 minutes. That's with the fusion cells. Fusion cells to me seem like the better way to go, because those have just given me a whole minute extra fuel. I have 9, 3, 6, 9. I have 18 tanks, so that's an extra 18 minutes worth of fuel. So, I don't know. My Empyrion mass is absolutely awful. All these oxygen tanks are full up in there yet. Okay, and we want the flak shells. Those are bullets we don't need. There we go. So we've got some good bits of ammo there, and then we've also got oxygen storage, which is here. Oxygen we're pretty set on. And we then have, let's give these fusion cells a try and see what difference they make if we change more of the tanks to use them. So we're on 18 minutes at the moment after changing that tank. Let's toggle these in. That's 1 tank done. That's 2 tanks done. 3 tanks. 4 tanks, right, so we have 4 tanks done. Let's turn it on. What's that giving us? 16 minutes overall. I think it may have given us about 3 minutes extra. If I turn off the thrusters, 22 minutes. That's given us an extra 4 minutes of fuel. So the fusion cells are going to give us an additional minute of power for every one we do with our thrusters turned off. However, thrusters turned on, we are only on 16 minutes. We only can fly for 16 minutes on the fusion cells. So we are going to need some more fuel tanks. Oh my god! Robin said it wasn't easy doing this, and it really freaking isn't. Power usage on those reactors is absolutely astronomical, and I wish there was an alternate source of power, like, I don't know, solar panels or wind turbines or something. Space Engineers, oddly enough, has actually released that they're going to be adding wind turbines to the base game, which I like, but they already have solar panels, so they haven't got this issue where you're solely reliant upon producing fuel. It'd be great if, you know, if like the thruster, well, not thrusters, the solar panels and stuff weren't like big wins in terms of you add them and you basically don't need to get Promethium ever again. But it'd be great if you could add them on and they'd at least sort of, I don't know, half your fuel consumption. That would be good, because it's just bonkers having to pick up all these fuel. And I haven't even got warp drive fuel yet. I've got a little bit, which I think is this stuff, pentaxid, but not a lot. So yeah, good luck with that, Jay. My God, I'm gonna need tier 2 fuel tanks, which we'll toggle that off, do that, and then get these built up, because we're gonna need the fuel tanks more than the actual more than the fuel at the moment. That's a bad thing to say, isn't it? That's really bad. Now I know I really am realising why Robin had like 50 trillion things sitting in his inventory. Well, 50. Yeah, he literally he was building loads of the fuel tanks, and he had loads of them in the thingy. And I was like, why the hell are you building this many? And he was like, because I really do need them. My comment was, what? Why the hell do you need this many? And then I looked, and now I'm realising it's finally hitting me. God damn it. Alright, we do have some med stuff in here as well, which will need to be converted over. I haven't really took damage lately because we've been stuck at home. Second tank should be done. Oh, look at that. Absolutely gorgeous. Yes. Let's go and get these in place. Get the fuel sat in there. And these will be our auxiliary tanks, which I think we'll utilise that room at the front as the main room, and I'll just have to monitor that one and then move to the auxiliary one if I accidentally go over the usage in that room. And yeah, I know what I'm talking about. Basically, the auxiliary is just going to be here. It'll get used if I accidentally forget, and then if I do run it, that's my bad. I'm just going to have to keep an eye on the fuel, because... Okay, what has that given us in terms of power? 27 minutes. Whoa. And that's with everything turned on. Holy poop. They have so much capacity. And they literally contain like 50 something in there. And then if I turn it on again, 30 minutes of fuel. Wow, just doing that has doubled my... Wow. Cool. Well, that's sorted then. That is the power issue sorted. I reckon flying for half an hour at a time, we shouldn't be flying more than that. And I wonder, what is it like this when I turn the thrusters on? It's 24. Turn them off, 33. So even then, when they're on, I'm getting 24 minutes worth of power to power the whole ship, and I could turn all the lights off. Cool. Why am I running this way when I need to run back up here to the hangar to sort out this new side door hangar malark? Because, alright, so what we got? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I have 10, so if I went with 4 as an opening, then that'll work out nicely. And we should be able to... Oh, don't get the console up. There we go. I want between 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then we could have... Are we going to need the normal shutters? Why don't these rotate right? I need to like glitch these on, or is it's going the wrong way, isn't it? Nah, I don't think it's gonna work. He says as it almost works. Oh, that's looking promising. That one's too big. That one's just insane. That one may do it. 1, 2, 3. How many blocks does this extend over? 1, 2. It extends over 3 blocks. So that's actually overhanging. 3 by 2. That one's good. However, it's gonna look awful unless we do it 6. So we open up the sides even further. Unless we do that. And we just have massive hanger doors on the side. And we'd have to kind of figure out the gap. Have to do that. And that. And that way we can open up the side doors and jump out. This will need to be patched up with just some regular blockage. So we just have to do that, wouldn't we, to match up, and then that. So then when these close, they butt up, yeah. So that isn't a bad compromise. We do kind of lose the windows out, but do we really need windows in the hangar? We only need some visibility outside, so it's not too bad. However, all the windows aren't flipped the right way around here, are they? Because we could see in but not out. Right then. Paint 6 first. I want to do, yeah, apply to the whole block. There we go. And there we have full hanger doors that allow us to just fly straight out, and we even have that front door. I mean, in the future we could literally block this off and make this like an actual bay for another ship. But right now I think it's just best if we have this very useful bottom section that opens up in many different ways, so we can fit ships of all kinds of sizes in here, just in case we end up with some other odds and sods. But if we do have to expand to a third ship that does something very, very specific, then that's going to be the space, and we just have to block off the front and make it so that it's not a door anymore. But at least we've got this ability to customize the ship. And also I will put this ship, because I think this is going to be the final iteration of the New Dawn. We're going to end production of it here, because I don't want to do too much more to it. I think it's a fairly stable ship now that we've got this hangar situation under control. There we go, and then we can open that door up, and we can open this door up, and then we have this awesome source hangar, but it's only for things that can fly, because we don't want to put ramps on the sides, do we? Because that'll just complicate it further. So we've got hangar doors on the side that allow shit to fly, and then we have the door at the front which closes up nicely and allows us to. And question is, how does that look from the outside? Doesn't look that bad. It does not look that bad. Really doesn't. Okay, so what we're going to do is, as the sun is rising, I'm going to generate a blueprint of the New Dawn for you guys, so you are able to download it and play around with it yourself. And now we've added on the little customizations, such as the hangar bay, we should be pretty set to go. So what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to do a save as of the New Dawn, and we're going to it can't have spaces, okay. Well, we'll just call it the HMS New Dawn, and we're going to click save. And if we go to F2, what we want to do is we want to publish that, and we want to publish it to the public. Click publish, and I think that has gone. So what I'll do is I will leave a link in the description below for you guys to have a gander at it. By the looks of it, it says here the total production time is 2 hours and 26 minutes if you have all the stuff and an unlock level of 18. So you can be able to, you will be able to build this in survival yourself, which is quite cool. So thank you guys for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed the New Dawn and play around with it. Feel free to customize it as much as you want, and whatever else. And thank you guys for watching. If you've enjoyed, leave a thumbs up. If you haven't, you know where the button is. Comment for anything you want me to do or see, and I'll see you guys later. Peace!